Hi everyone, this is Renee Francis with Matter Perception, and in this video we're going to take a quick look at Sam Sayers. Samantha, everyone knows her as Sam, and she went hiking on the 1st and Vesper Peak in Washington, and she has not been found as yet. Sheriff's Department stopped their search for her, but there's a mass of volunteers that are heading out every day, and they are still looking for her. So someone reached out to us, and we had the time to quickly work up an interactive map on her behalf. And hopefully it will show some areas maybe that they could pay attention to. So if you are new to a matter of perception, we have been measuring point of disappearance to point of recovery, and we have a case study illustrating how the gravitational pull of planets are showing where remains are being recovered. Now, we just don't do it for remains recovery. We can do it for live bodies too, and we also have a case study on fugitives, so we can apply what we know on behalf of Samantha too. And for instance, this young man he fled a vehicle that crashed, and so from this is the chart when he fled at 12:27 on November 15th. This is that wheel, and this is these planets being measured against the compass. When you look at this wheel itself is a 360-degree compass, and we are just translating these measurements from the point of disappearance, and then we were measuring the vector from this point to this point. So he was actually found on the gravitational pull actually went from a trine with Saturn and Uranus, and of course the conjunction here with with Mercury, and he was found over here. So he was found on the trine that actually finishes this conjunction to here, which would be this. Okay, so you're going to see in for Samantha. And I'm just going to go over her stars real quick to give you some ideas of why I'm going to tell you to go look where I'm going to tell you to go look. So this is our interactive map, but if you click on this link here, it's going to take you into its own browser, okay? And that's where I want you to be when you interact with her map. It's on her page because we put it there so you can actually function with it from here as well, but you'll have more action with it if you look at it in its own browser window. Which would be like right here. So it would actually look like this, and then you have all these folders. I'm going to explain these in a minute. But anyway, let me just come down here for a second. Everything that's below this map on her page is really for us. It's for us to erect her map. Okay, we set our vectors over the point of where she was last seen on video footage, and at 1:30. So we're going to vector out all these planets' positions and their patterns over that map in that area. This is her birth chart. I needed this to help me try to figure out, actually that needs to be refreshed because we had actually got the time of her birth. And so again, this is for us because this is going to help me hotspot her map, feel what was going on, see if what kind of danger she was in at this point. But real quick, I'm just going to go over her chart. Okay, so she's a sweetheart. She loves the outdoors. She has the Moon and Mars conjunct in Taurus, so she loves the earth. Okay, very, very important to her. Venus at the time is trining this almost exactly. Okay, so that day she needed to get out and be in the elements. Okay, with all this Virgo, this is earth. This is enjoying mountains and just being outside general. Okay, what's troubling me here is that she has Aquarius rising, so this makes her different. Okay, this is a soul that comes in that is an old soul, but she was born to be different. Okay, it's born to stand out. What I'm fearing here is that Aquarius rules the ankles. So knowing that she was on a hike, if she was going to be injured, this is where the injury, where I would think on that part of her body would happen. The problem is I'm seeing up here is Jupiter. That's high places. That's the mountain, and that is squaring this point. So that is, I'm guessing that she may have injured her ankle, either sprained it, but not that she wouldn't be able to recover from that. But here's what I'm thinking. Okay, on the day that when she at 1:30, we have the moon. Very, very important in all cases involving people who go missing, okay? Because it's the closest planet to us. Not planet, but it's the closest light celestial body to us, the moon. So it has a big influence on us. It rules the ocean tides. The Earth is 7/10 water. Our bodies are 7/10 water. So it does have a gravitational pull on our brains. All the water in our bodies, it has a gravitational pull. When she disappeared, her progressed ascendant, her energy, her physical body was being triggered by that moon, and it was trining her moon midheaven. So again, she felt like getting out, being somewhere high up, and enjoying the outdoors. My problem is that it's sextiling this Mars here. So I'm wondering, is after she met and got up to where she intended originally to go, to Vesper Peak, if she didn't decide at that point maybe to push herself and go a little bit farther, is there a place where she could have walked further and went higher? That she just, because of the energy level that she would have had that day, she may have said, hey, you know, I'm not done, I want more. Okay, now the fact that she has Mars right here, and it's enshrined to all this down here, again, that tells me that she could have a little bit of a blessing on her side, in that she has the endurance at this time to get in a little trouble and then survive. I'm not sure what kind of supply she had in her backpack, if she was prepared to face elements for 30 days. That I don't have any idea. But now what I want to say is I do think there is a little bit of a blessing here, that even though it's been 30 days, and I know the weather up on top of that mountain, when I lived in Colorado, I used to do a lot of Pike Peak trips, and it gets very cold, and but she may know how to survive out there, and hence the reason and the urgency of getting one of these maps done for her. And anyway, so that's it. So I'm thinking that she may have, because of this energy, that she may have decided just to push herself a little bit more. Maybe that's when things went south. Now, another thing before I let me just dump this and make it clearer. Because of the fact that Mars is sitting down here in the nadir and the moon is here, this is elements, this is a lake, I'm wondering if she would have went off course, could she have went somewhere where she could have fallen? And then now she's fallen, and she's in a place where where there's not a path to walk. So let's get to her map so that you actually can see the vectors and the energy that's happening right now, and that's at work. Okay, so when you go to our map, we tried to duplicate your map that was on the site. Okay, we think we did a pretty. April erected the map. She vectored, while I pulled her page together and get everything in place so that we could work together and pull this video together. But we tried to duplicate all the information that was on here, from your drones to your pings, sightings, the Boy Scouts, and we translated that on our map. And you're going to see all those things in our location folder. Okay, so you have the peak, you have the trailhead where she came on, you have the video sightings, and then of course we have these little trails that April put in here. Okay, then we have some sightings, so you can turn these things on and turn them off. Then we have these drone searches that are taking place, so these can be turned on and turned off to make the map easier for you to look at. Okay, and then there's a couple cell pings, they can be turned on and turned off. Okay, in this folder, so I'm going to shut this down. Some of this, you can turn those on and off, okay? I don't know why my mouse is lagging here. So when you come in, there's going to be these 4 major folders. And then, of course, there's all these smaller things when you open up in there to make the folders in the column here, the overlay, easier for you to see. Trailhead. Video to cell ping. These were we were just going to see if we could vector Sam, but I don't think we have to, because we have lined up with some of her the planets that were in her birth with the planets that were happening at the time, and they're sort of all working together, so we don't need to vector her. But she's in here just in case we do, if she's not found soon. You might have to. Okay, so in the disappearance chart, you want this open so that you can see these distances. I divided them up, okay? Now, I'm not sure. Now, I want you to see something. What these two top patterns that we did, okay? They are, I'm going to shut these drone footages off. I'm going to shut these off, these cell pings. What I want to say is that these two aspects right here, these two patterns, you're going to see that we have, there's a lot. There's one, turn that one off, and now you have, let me make it over here so you can actually see what's happening there. Okay, so these are the vectors that we drew, okay? Each one of them, whether they're dotted or they're solid, are equally potent. I have a feeling that she's on this axis right here, this Sun Mars axis, or your Scorpio ascendant here. So I pulled them back up. She could be on any one of these patterns, any one of them. Okay, I put the ones up top that we think are the strongest based on what was going on in her birth chart as well. Okay, and the gravitational pull, and you're going to see that some of them are just repeating themselves because the planet wasn't only an aspect with the moon, but it was an aspect with another planet. So they double up. Okay, so I know there's a lot of patterns here, but she will be on one of them. So this Sun, Moon, Mars was very, very potent. So this is a sextile, and all their degrees, I'll show you, all their degrees are being vectored in here. I like this. I'm wondering if she got here and then decided, I don't know, can she get any further? Is there a place where she could have gone? See, I can see a topograph. Another thing is that you can actually do satellite. You could do hybrid. That's going to show you the names. You're going to do that satellite, road, and then terrain, which is your topographical map. So I'm wondering, is there any way that if she felt she had the energy, like I said, to go push herself and go a little bit further? It's a beautiful day. She's enjoying herself. And could she have gone up on this line with Mars at the time, which was trining her own Mars? Is there any way that would she have gone down this way here? Here, okay, you see where these lines are going? Now, if she would have went to one of these and it was high enough for her to have fallen off, once she has gotten, if she fell and she got somewhere, if she hit her head or something and she was disorientated, and it was like later and dark, I would think her being an experienced hiker, she's going to know she's going to know the position. Her sun is going to tell her where northwest and east and south are. But if she's hurt, she may be, if she's hurt, she's probably looking for cover. And so I'm wondering about these like deeper crevices if she's fallen. Anyway, I want you to look at in these, you can open these up and turn them on. Okay, we did miles I went 0.16 miles for, you can turn that on, turn it off. Then we can get a little bit closer, zoom in, zoom out. Okay, then 0.9. And then in here I have anything that's under 4 miles. If she would have went that far, I know that this hike alone isn't. Could she have gone somewhere else? Could it be possible for her to have head down to this this peak down here, and then she picks up the road again to get. I wanted to this
and these radiuses, and then if you come in here, see how you're getting the same ones that are showing up is because these same planets were in aspect with other planets. Okay, I like the sextile. I would pay attention.
really pay close attention to this one and what you know about the terrain up there, and where she would have said, hey, I never went that way before, would she have gone off path? And then this is where maybe she could have fallen and had an injury. So, I know you have to kind of look into crevices here, but I would think, her being an experienced hiker, she would have brought herself into a place where she could be, she would be able to be seen and not be hidden in a crevice. Okay, so if I shut this one off, we do the Moon Saturn square. That's what that looks like. Okay. And then I was thinking too, would she have went up to the top of Vesper if she did ever get there, and would she have come back down and go this way just to get more out of the day? I don't know, because we do have Vector going up that way too. Which one is that? See, we have this line coming right up over this peak. So could she have gone up this way? Could we have Vector coming down to this morning star streak? I am unsure of how long it would take her from the point that she was at on her way back down.
Could she have went over into these other areas? So when you peruse this map, I mean, if it took us a few hours to erect it, you need to spend a few hours looking at it, and somebody who
knows the topographical map, can read it, knows this terrain, and say, you know what, this Vector does look good up here. Could she have gone up this way? What if she did want to reach up here? How would she have been able to maneuver her way over there? Is it even possible? But I'm sure that just like with the fugitives, just like with people are missing. It's the planets have a gravitational pull on our bodies, and I feel very strongly that she will be on one of these vectors if you apply it to what you know about this area. April hot spotted this. I want a hot spot. I want a hot spot over in this area over here. I got a feeling that maybe she's down here with the sun, or she went in the opposite direction, here or here. Which one of those, when you look at these other areas, which one of these are possible that she would have headed, and how would she have gotten there? And does she even know? Has she done this peak before?
And if she did, would have she taken a trail that's up? I tried looking for a trail map, but I couldn't find one.
But if you play around and sit, okay, on a desktop, forget your phone. You cannot do this on a phone. You can do it on a phone if you turn it sideways after you've gotten yourself acquainted with the map and what you're looking at. Okay, so the Moon Saturn square is strong too. Again, it's heading out to go into another direction towards where this, I don't know if you need to use the turns, turn on and turn them off, and what is possible by what you know the terrain. And I think you might have some luck. You do have a drone, so
is going down where there shouldn't have to be so worried about the elements. So, we actually went out a 9-mile radius. Now that might be ridiculous for a lost hiker, and she could be following one of these creeks. So where do these lines, when you turn them on and off, where are these lines heading? over these creek areas where she could be trying to get out of, changing the temperature so she can withstand some of the nighttime um, drop in temperature. So that's it. If you have any questions, we're here to answer them. If anything is, that you don't understand, you can always come to our site. You can look at some of the 100 case study of the cases that are actually showing that we're measuring from the point of disappearance to point of recovery, and there's about 50 some odd cases here that that you can look and peruse, and it'll show you how the stars at the time showed us the direction in which they were found. I have to believe in my heart that this can work for Sam. And if you guys are willing to, give our map a little attention, I mean, she does have stars tattooed around her ears. So if she believes in them, then hopefully you guys will believe in them too while you're looking for and use her map and find Sam. I think she's a tough cookie, and I think, she does probably have a couple of stars in her favor that she could hold out. So don't give up. Good luck with your search, and everybody be safe.